Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me know where you are checking in from in the chat. We're going to go ahead and get started very soon. I made the event, but I haven't really been promoting it. So, those that join, welcome. And then for you all that catch the replay, welcome again. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So tonight, this is kind of like a re-recording. This was one of the only episodes that I recorded earlier in the recording process of recording main chat that got lost with the Facebook deletes. I did not get to it in time. So I want to re-record this main chat so that it's accessible on my YouTube channel on at all times. So for those that missed part 4 in the beginning, welcome. And I hope you find this information entertaining. Hi, Miss Sharon. I am well. I cannot complain. How are you? Today, the kids go back to school tomorrow. So we've been doing not really ripping and running, but just getting prepared for school, making sure we have those last minute supplies and getting dinner ready, making sure that everyone goes to bed at a decent time tonight, have dinner, all of those things. So in the midst of that, we're going to be doing some main chat recording. And so this is part 4, understanding your hair structure. Again, this was early on in our main chat recordings, and I feel that when we know the science behind our hair strand, it gives us a better insight of our hair strand and the follicle and how it is made up. And so when you add that information along with everything else we've been talking about throughout the weeks, you add those different nuggets and pieces together, it kind of makes the whole puzzle complete. And so this is one of those pieces of the puzzle, understanding this strand of hair that we are constantly touching, that we style, that sometimes stress us out. We're getting down to the inside of what is that made up of. And so I'm gonna go ahead. Hi, Miss Gloria. How are you? Thank you for joining me. Excuse me. I'm gonna go ahead and take me a sip of water. Excuse me. And so while I'm thinking about it, we we will not be having a main chat recording this coming Sunday. I will actually be flying back from Chicago that day, and so I'm probably not going to be in the right mental space to be prepared to record. So we'll go ahead and pick up. I think we'll get back to our Wednesday. So we'll probably do the next recording on Wednesday. And so it's going to be a season wrap. And so we're going to just hit some of the main topics from parts 2 through 16. So kind of just like recap season 1. And then we're going to take like a little break so that I can refocus and get more educational content prepared for you all as we kick off season 2 in the weeks to come. Ms. Sharon asks, do you have any idea when master classes are back? I do not. I wish I did. I did hear from another curl mixer that curl mix is still working on improving the master classes. So we're still in limbo, but I am waiting just as well as everybody else to master class starts back Um, I definitely missed the engagement. I missed the watch day lives and the Zooms and all of those things. So I am definitely looking forward to Masterclass come back. So if I hear anything, it'll probably be the same time anybody else does, and I will share it with you all here so we can get back to our master classes. But welcome to Main Chat live stream. So I just messed up my intro, y'all. So, hey there, beautiful people. Welcome back to Main Chat, where we provide you with tips, tricks, and truth about caring and embracing for your natural hair. Whether you a newbie, seasoned natural, or somewhere in between, my hopes is that you find inspiration, education, and even a little laughter along the way. I am Coach Trail, your personal curl coach and educator. And tonight, we are diving into part 4 of our hair series, Understanding Your Hair Structure. Here at Pace Curly Coaching, we embrace the journey of natural hair with patience, acceptance, consistency, and education. And this episode tonight is all about the education of understanding our hair structure. My hopes is that I provide a deeper insight and intellect of our natural hair or just hair in general. And we take that information, we apply it to our personal journeys, our personal struggles, or just find inspiration in um, deciding to go natural. We know a lot of people don't go natural because there's this misconcept that having natural hair is difficult. Um, it's more time consuming. And so my hopes is that we kind of change that narrative and begin to embrace and in love our hair for what it is, how it grows from our scalp. And so understanding that is understanding our hair strands and structure. So what is the hair shaft? So I always like to start from the basics. So our hair shaft. One hair follicle is the living part of hair that extends below the skin. The hair shaft is the visible part of the hair. The part we style, dye, twist, curls, and again, sometimes stress us the most. That is our hair shaft. That is the visible part that we see, touch, curl, and style on hopefully a weekly basis. What we see isn't just a smooth fiber, it's a complex structure made up of protein, lipids, water, and a whole lot of science. I always like to give the disclaimer that I am not a licensed stylist, cosmetologist, chemist, scientist, any of those things. All the information that I share is information through research, Google, books, others' experience, and my experience of my own. And I take this information and I share it here with you all. And so there is a lot of science that goes into understanding our hair. And this is just a small glimpse of the science behind it. Our hair shaft is built mostly from keratin, which is a tough protein that gives our hair its strength. A fun fact is there are over 18 different amino acids in healthy keratin. Each one of those amino acids in keratin plays a role in how our hair stretches, bends, and responds to the products and treatments that we apply to it. So when we think about our hair shaft, there are 3 layers. You have the medulla, the cortex, and the cuticle. So when we have those conversations and we're talking about our cuticle and the cortex and different things like that, this is the makeup of our hair shaft. So the medulla, this is the innermost layer of the hair shaft. It's like the marrow in our hair. So we have like bone marrow that's like in the inside, the innermost of our bones, that is where your medulla would be found in your hair shaft. Not everyone has one. And so those, um, if your strands are fine or thin, guilty, you probably don't have one. It usually is found in more coarser, thicker textures and can make the hair appear naturally more fuller. So there was something that I shared, I think in hair characteristics, might be part 5 or 6, that men typically have thicker, coarser strands than us women. So I don't know if you've ever played in a man's hair and like compared it between a man and a woman. But since I've been on this journey, I have, because my husband has grown his hair out multiple times. And in the midst of feeling his shed hair, um, I noticed that his for one, before they was even out off the scalp, I was like, why his hair feels so coarse and like thick, like almost like not as thick as a piece of sewing thread, but very similar. And so he definitely has a cortex. Not a cortex. He definitely has a medulla within his hair shaft. So that's just another fun fact. So that's the our medulla. It's the innermost layer of the hair shaft. And again, not everyone have them. The next layer of the hair shaft is your cortex. This is the main event of the hair shaft. It's the largest portion of the hair strand. It holds 80 to 90% of our hair's weight. It's where our hair gets its color, its strength, and elasticity. This is also where chemical treatments like color and relaxers do their work. So our cortex is, so if your cortex is compromised, such as breakage, bitterness, or low bounce, that's the part of your hair shaft that is suffering from some form of damage. And so the next layer is our cuticle layer. So this is our hair's first line of defense. The cuticle is the outermost layer made up of overlapping cells. So one of the best analogy is kind of like the roof shingles on our house, how they overlay each other. That is how our cuticle layers are designed on our hair strands. And so when we wash our hair with shampoo, which typically has a higher pH, it lifts the cuticle and it allows the stuff to come out and it allows stuff to come in. And then our conditioner smooths those cuticle layers back. When it's smooth and healthy, your hair shines, it feels strong. And when it's rough or damaged, that's when you may be experiencing more frizz, tangles, and brittleness. So just thinking about the role of our hair shaft, what it is, how it is made up, and how your hair is responding to you, whether you're washing it or styling it. Um, I always encourage everyone to build that relationship with your hair. What is it feeling like? Is it feeling dry? Is it feeling brittle? Are you experiencing a lot of knots and tangles? Are you experiencing breakage when you're just pulling on your hair strand? Does it bounce back? Does it just hang there? Like, what is going on with your hair? Your cortex and your cuticles, they I have to call her back. They reap the benefit or the lack of what we do with our hair and the products that we use. So understanding those layers is extremely important when you're building that relationship, when you're touching, when you're feeling, when you are assessing your hair, when it's dry, when it's wet, from day to day. Those are the things that you are looking for. And you can tell if you have a compromised cortex. And please feel free to put your questions in the comment if something I'm saying is not making sense or you need a better explanation. Please feel free to share that in the chat because um, I know for me when I look at lives and videos or just posts, I always look in the comments to see, what we talking about in the chat. And those questions that we have may be helping someone that are scared to answer, that's maybe scared to ask questions. Y'all know that motto, no question is a stupid question, that they used to tell us in school, so we can engage more. So yes, please feel free to put your comments in the chat so that we can share with others. Sharing is caring. All right, so let's take a look. So inside of the cuticle. So again, the cuticle is the outermost layer of our hair strand. Those are those overlapping cells. Well, within those overlapping cells, there's additional layers and defenses in the midst of that. So let's take a look inside of the cuticle. So there are 5 sub-layers that each play a role in protecting the inner parts of our hair. So you have your epicuticle, which is the thin outer film. It's rich in fatty acids and lipids. Then you have your A layer, which adds strength and shields from heat damage. So we have all of these defenses that, in a sense, are there to protect our hair, but sometimes we are our own worst enemy when it comes to doing the right things for our hair. So after your A layer, you have your exocuticle. This is defined as the muscle. It's 2/3 of the cuticle and super resistant to stress and chemicals. And so after your exocuticle, you have the endocuticle, is the sponge. It's the only layer that swells when wet, opening a door for moisture or chemicals to enter. So we talk about the importance of hydration, saturating our hair, allowing that water to really enter our strands, weigh our hair down, and all of the benefits of that. That is the exocuticle. That sponge, that's what's soaking up that water. So when we think about your hair porosity, whether it's high or low or somewhere in between, this is the layer of that cuticle that we should be working with it. Rather it's high porosity, we're using low pH products to bring it down, to smooth that cuticle, to allow that entry of that water. And then for those that get relaxers or chemicals, such as getting our hair dyed, this is that layer of your cuticle that they have to lift so that it allows that color to get into that strand. And that last layer is your cuticle cell membrane complex, short for CMC. This is like the glue holding everything together and connecting the cuticle to the cortex. So these are the 5 sub layers that are within your cuticle. So think about it like this. When we use harsh shampoos, flat irons, or color treatments, guess what gets hit first? If you said the cuticle, then you are absolutely correct. So that's why it's so important to protect that cuticle by using gentle cleansing shampoos. And again, we know sometimes we need to use a clarifying shampoo or a chelating shampoo, just depending on what we've been doing, what products we've been using to our hair, and if we are having any hard water buildup from the hard water that is coming through our faucets and drains. Properly conditioning our hair and using minimal heat, because doing the opposite of that, you are really compromising that cuticle. And if the cuticle is compromised, such as being damaged, then if you're talking about on the path to healthy hair, you're not going to get there. If you're talking about you want growth or retention, you're not going to get there. So whatever your hair goal is, you have to have healthy strands. And healthy strands comes from gently cleansing, conditioning, styling and low manipulation styles, not constantly touching our hair, avoiding heat as much as possible, um, being mindful with using chemicals, relaxers, dyes, all of those things compromise our cuticle. So here is why this matters on our hair journey. Understanding our hair structure helps us make better choices. When we know our hair's foundation, we understand why moisture matters, why protein treatments are needed, why our hair may respond to products differently than someone else's hair. Remember that our hair journeys are unique to us, just as our hair structure is. Mind you, our hair structure is made up of the same thing. Some of us may or may not have a medulla, but we all got cortex and we all got cuticles. If you have a hair strand, you got a cuticle. So it made up of that. It's gonna have those 5 sub layers: your epicuticle, your A layer, your exocuticle, your endocuticle, and that CMC, which is the cuticle cell membrane cortex. It's gonna have those. But not all of us are doing the same things day to day, week to week to our hair. So our journey is our own personal journey. Our hair strands are unique to us, but I feel like there's a basic foundational rule that we could all follow, no matter what your texture, pattern, um, lifestyle is, to maintain or get on the journey of healthy hair. So I believe education, information is power. And when we apply it with patience, acceptance, consistency, and education, you'll stop fighting your hair and start to glow with it. That's why this journey is, um, that is why we're on this journey. So that we can build routines, healthy routines that work for us and allow us to reach our hair goals. So wherever you are on your journey, you can apply this information um, to see where you are and what is your next step. Because remember, it's all about our choices, and it's all about our selection of products. All of those things play a key role in reaching your hair goal. So my key takeaway that I hope you all take away is that, for one, our hair is beautiful no matter how complex the structure may be. The more we learn about our hair, the more we love our hair, the more we embrace our hair, the more we build that relationship with our hair, the more we build that understanding of black hair and the science behind black hair, the more we begin to appreciate every curl, every coil, every kink, every wave, every hair strand. So this is why we are here together on this main chat journey. So P.A.C.E Curly Culture is here to assist you on your journey, whether you need just support, encouragement, motivation. If you're transitioning from relaxed hair to full blown natural, whether you're deciding whether or not this is a journey that you want to take, that you want to embark on, rather or not that you know, you're on the right path, but you're missing like a routine that allows you to really maintain your hair, or you're struggling with what type of products should I be using, because it's a lot of products on the market. There are a lot of great products that are designed and cultivated for black hair. There are a lot of mindful companies out here that are mindful of their ingredient list, and you know, they're choosing quality over quantity. And so just trying to figure out what type of products on a regular should I be using, what should I use, keep in my arsenal, like whatever your personal journey is, Pace Curly Coaching is here to assist you on that journey. You can go to pacecurlycoaching.com and you can book a free hair Q&A where we spend time talking about your goals, your journey, and what steps you may or may not need or need to take on the next path of healthy hair success. So please don't forget to follow Pace Coach Trail on all platforms: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And please share this episode with someone who may need assistance with understanding their hair from the inside out. So I am greatly appreciative and honored for you guys that join me every Wednesday or Sunday, for following me on my platforms, and just engaging with the community, sharing your hair journal, sharing your experience, um, replying to my question of the days. I greatly appreciate everything that you guys do just for staying on these lives with me. So just remember to stay patient, stay consistent, and always and forever love on your mane. So that is all I have for you tonight, beautiful people. I don't see any comments or anything in the chat. So thank you all. I will see you on the next one. And until next time.